First headline today, Queen Elizabeth II, the UK's longest-serving monarch, has died at the age of 96. She reigned for 70 years, which, if you do anything for 70 years, that's pretty impressive. She died peacefully on Thursday afternoon at her Scottish estate, where she spent most of the summer. She came to the throne in 1952 and witnessed a large amount of social change. Her son, King Charles III, will take over as king. And this was the part that I thought was really interesting that I had no idea about when these monarch changes go over. It goes from God Save the Queen to God Save the King. So they're just rewriting the lyrics every time the changeover happens, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Lot to break down here in terms of her legacy. I know a lot of people feel a lot of different ways, but yeah, Benny, when you heard this, did it historically make any sort of impression with you, or were you just like, it's another thing that happened today?
No, it did for a certain reason. I mean, the thing is, to this day, I don't fully grasp how government works over there and how much power she's actually charged with. Like I still don't completely understand it. And because of that, politically, I don't have like any strong sense or view of what she did. I do find it pretty stunning when her father died in 52. She was 25 years old and became queen of, let me see here, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Pakistan, and what is known today as Sri Lanka, which used to be, I don't know, Ceylon. I don't know how to say it correctly. That's crazy to me. And that shows like just in her lifetime the amount of like change that's necessary in the world. Like, she saw over like the decolonization of Africa, and a lot of like old imperialistic tendencies that just like came and went, but are still there, during her reign. So it's really like a very interesting and kind of huge topic to uncover because of what you said. This is like 70 years of geopolitics under one person's umbrella. So it's like hard for me to really have like a firm opinion, honestly, one way or the other. But I think it's more of a cultural thing. Like America, especially in the 80s, just had this insane fascination with the royal family. It was like Queen Elizabeth and and Princess Di and etc. And I grew up with it randomly, like, and this name and this face were kind of synonymous with geopolitics and almost as present as my own presidents and stuff like that. So I don't know what they did, what kind of marketing they were doing with like those royal Dutch cookies and stuff in the 80s or something. But like I literally had a tin in my house with Queen Elizabeth and the king and the prince. And like, that's where my mom would stuff like a $10 bill for like an emergency. If she didn't come home that night, you could order a pizza or something. Like, so I just grew up with this like narrative and I'm not even exactly sure why.
Yeah.
I guess it goes to show like how closely our countries are intertwined with Canada and the US and England, and the fact that, I don't know, we're basically once them, like not that long ago in a sense. So it really, it's kind of a fascinating topic to bring up. It's something I don't often think about, and her death kind of like highlighted a lot of that.
And you really saw the differences. There are some very vocal groups. I had no idea until yesterday that Irish Twitter was a thing, but they were loud and proud and in charge. I saw chants at a soccer match over there of Lizzie's in a box, which I was like, listen, I'm Irish. I know that the history there is tough. But it's also the day that somebody passes. History will have the chance to write whatever she may have done or haven't done. But yeah, I thought that seeing the reaction on social media, there were two reactions. There are the UK people that were like, oh, we're going to miss her. And then there was the other reaction. Very interesting to see this play out in real time.
Yeah, I mean, that's where, as an outsider of that country, like, I don't really like to take any kind of side on it because I know, like I said, over 70 years, this is a country that has its hands in a million places. There's probably tons of people that hate them and tons of people that love them. And
Yeah.
I'm not skilled enough to really have an
Yeah,
opinion.
right. No, me neither. We're a podcast on YouTube for
Yeah,
crying out.
exactly.
Oh man, but just interesting. I think making a monarch like that more approachable to the people. I think that's going to be how the loyalists, the people over in Britain, look at it, even if there weren't some bumps along the way. So, Queen Elizabeth II passes away at the age of 96.